Multi-selection. When we work with invoice or sales sheets, their multi-selection feature is very helpful. What is multi-selection? When we want to add a subcategory under a category, like men's fashion, women's fashion, HR department. When we want to add a subcategory and the various categories and use multi-selection, just as we see in web or software. So how will we proceed with that in MS Excel? In today's video, we are going to see how we can use the multi-selection feature by using formula. How to use this for sales report or invoice or any other e-commerce. So let's start today's class. Firstly, let us notice the document on screen. There is a sheet prepared on the screen document, and there is a heading given in the sheet that is HR, admin, designer, developer. So we have prepared some subhead under the header, which means who are working under HR and who are working under admin. These bases are classified here. So in today's video, we are going to see when we want to prepare a salary sheet, or perhaps when a department store comes in. There can be a section called men's fashion, and it can have 10 items, and women's fashion could have 20 items. So we prepared this so that we don't have to write under which department what category belongs. So today's formula sums up all of this. For example, let's delete this first. If we notice, when I click this arrow under this HR button, that only these three names Kamal, Hassan and Jamal are showing up and no other names are there. In the same way, if I click on Designer Department, the categories and the Designer Department will show up here. So if we notice, we don't have admin option under the department section. Now, if I click on this, and I click on admin, and then click on here, then we will notice the categories under admin department shows up on the screen. So the reason behind today's class is this formula, how to use this formula in MS Excel, and we will learn how to prepare the documents in simpler but more accurate way. So let's begin with today's class and find out how to do this. Firstly, let us remove the function which is already given on the screen. Okay. First, we will prepare a sheet like this. When we work with a product in MS Excel, or you can say if I have a management team, how can I work with a salary sheet? Or the customers which are subdivided into categories. So anything that comes under departments or anything that you have to work with subcategories with, at those times, you will use this multi-selection formula to work in a simpler but in a more accurate way, and so that you don't have to type it again and again. The second benefit is what is the category under what department is right in front of us. The facility that we get under inventory software under the HR software. So for this, we will create a sheet like this and give them a heading like I have written here HR, admin, designer and developer. Here they are divided under the category of jobs. Total number of people working under HR, under admin, under designer, under developer. So we will prepare them according to our needs. So this is called data listing. Next comes data output, which means we will create the samples which we saw earlier. So in step 1, we wrote department, which is the category where listing is to be done. Then it will show the names of the employees. We have already saw in the earlier video how to prepare this list, and we learned about how to do data validation from the list. If you have not seen the earlier classes, you can go and watch our videos from our channel. The links for the videos are in the description box, where it is shown how to perform data validation and prepare a list and types of data. So let us select this. Then as we know, let's go on to data, then click on validation. And then we will select a list. Then we know that we have to click on this arrow and then select the items that will come under the listing. So let's select them here. Then we press on OK, and then we can see that our listings already appear on the screen, which means the headings here are already set. So now comes when I selected this, nothing shows up here. Now let us see how to do this exactly in this class. To do that, what we have to do in step 1 is we will have to select the whole data. Along with this, we will also select the headings. So till the cell where the head subject is written, we have to select everything. We will spread the whole sheet together and select everything here. After selecting, there is an option above called formula. We will click on that. In the formula section, we will find this option called create from selection. So let us click on this option. After clicking on this, we will notice in the screen a pop-up bar has come up front. Now what is that for? The reason behind this is the heading which we have done. According to my designing skills, I did it on the top. In many cases, it could be done in the left. In many cases, it could be done in the right. Also, there could be chances for being it in the bottom, which totally depends on the design. Which means it does not matter wherever I design my heading, I have to indicate the heading where I have done the heading. Which means what do I want to see when I press for the results? Now if I want to press Command to see the results, then our heading would have been this line. Then we would have to select from here. So we will work here in this way. Now what do we want here when we click the heading? We want it to show the below section. Then which one is our heading? Top row, left column. Let us delete the left column. Now if we don't want it on the top but on the left, then what is going to happen? When we will select HR, these data would show up. Admin, designer and developer. When we select Kamal, Shamim, Zakaria, Sohail would show up. At that time, we will have to do listing with this list and not the upper row. Since we have selected the upper row as the heading, then we will click on top row and deselect left column. Then we will press OK. This was step 1. So after giving the OK, in many versions of MS Excel, it can show an error. So if the error comes, we can give OK, and after giving OK, we can easily work with the formula. If the error persists, then surely comment us, or else you can log on to Sikkhon.com, where you can find our forum and you can comment us there. Our experts there will try to solve your problem. Let's get back to our video now. So let us understand this. We selected this. Now let us press all this empty area. We will work with data validation and we will select this as we did in listing. After this, let's go to data and then data validation. After this, click on list. But this time there will be no selection of list. Now what do we have to do? We have to write a formula. Equal indirect. After writing the formula, let us give the brackets. Now which cell is going to be in the bracket? We won't give any cell from here. The row which we have set to show the category or the department, we are going to select that cell or that row, which means my category is admin HR is in which column? We can say it is in the F column and the cell number is 3. So we are going to write here F3. You can type the cell number which you want. We will have to remember one thing. We will have to give the cell number of the category which we want to be shown here. So let us give here F3. Then we will close the brackets. Let us see the formula again. Indirect. Then the cell number in which the category is shown. That cell is been indirected here. Now let us press OK. After pressing OK, we will notice the HR cell here shows us 3 names as we saw in the starting of the video. They are Kamal, Hassan and Jamal. Now again, if we select designer from here and then click on drop down, then we will notice the 3 names and the designer also appears here. This is how surprisingly and effectively drop down feature is used, because you may make mistakes while you type. And after this, what comes under this department and what are the products under the categories? All these are to be done by the help of list. So easily when you select any category from this list, here we select admin, we automatically see who are under admin. Normally in MS Excel, these categories are under separate sheets. We have already seen these in the earlier classes. If you watch the earlier classes, you will understand that these categories does not stay on the same page, which is the reason why I will save this in another page and it will not be shown on the page where you will be working on. After that, we will be seeing one more thing. If we select this developer on 4th number, after we click on this, we will see there is an empty space here in the option. Right now we have less data. For example, if we had 20 designers and there are 2 developers. So what happens there? The space becomes too long. So how will we overcome this problem? To get over this problem, we will go on, click on Find and select. Then we will go to Special. After clicking on Go to Special, there is an option called Blank. Let us click on Blank. After clicking on this, let's press OK. At this point, every blank portion is shown. This is due to a mistake I made. Now I will select the portion, which means in these cells, what are the cells which are blank. Now if I go to Find, go to Special, Blank, then OK, we will now notice the blank field is now selected. Now if it is less in number, we won't have any problem. Although if we have huge data and there you have to select single by single, then you can do it once for all. We can even do this with single click if we want one cell. We will click on right button and click delete. Then we will click on shift cells up. The meaning of shift cells up is if I want to delete this, the data on the top side will be shifted here. If I select the left option and press OK, we will notice the admin has been shifted to this side. The reason is this cell has been deleted. And since this is coming from the left side, I deleted it and then clicked on shift cells up because I already have the data above and it won't be a problem. Let's press OK. If we still don't understand, we will do it in two ways, whatever suits us. Now if I click on space, we will notice the blank space has been deleted. This was the first part. Now I have already deleted this. For example, my developer will join on next month. Now what to do? Firstly, we will have to click on Insert option. So let's press Insert. Then we will click on Shift down. Then press OK. Now the data has been inserted. Now let us give a name, for example, Jamil. So what happens when we give Jamil? The option does not show the name. The reason is because we will have to select this once again. Let's select this. Then go to Formula. Then Create from Selection. We will have to remember one thing. We will select this top row option and then we will press OK. There is a message that pops up. Replace existing definition of developer, which means a new definition he added is going to be added in the existing definition. Let's replace it. Now if you click on developer, Jamil has come on the screen. So in this way, we are going to perform these functions by understanding these and do the MS Excel work more professionally, which means where we work, we can show the use of these formulas. And there the senior executives may be impressed by the use of these formulas and we can use this to increase our experience and knowledge. So this was all for today's class. If you have any doubts, you can comment or you can also message us on the Facebook page. Or you can even visit our website Sikkhon.com. There you will find an option above called Forum. You can write down your problems in those forums. After signing up and logging in, then you can just give your questions. The teachers from our team are the faculty who knows the answers to all your questions. Join the forum and make the community stronger. Thank you for being with today's class of Sikkhon.com.